to the running backs. We're going to give you some lists. We're going to just, focus on at least one guy on our list in general here. And I love the setup for Devin Singletary. I don't know why, because last week we only saw 9 total touches, but the playing time was there. And just get Frank Gore out of the way. Yes, he's a potential Hall of Famer, and he's done great things for many, many teams. But he's just holding back the kid who should be fantastic against this Giants defense, which was very good against the run of Ezekiel Elliott, but I don't care. I think you're going to see Devin Singletary let loose. His role in the passing game is solidified. We didn't see T.J. Yeldon touch the field, and I think you're going to see Singletary have a big performance against the Giants. Even though it's back-to-back road games for Buffalo, I like the setup for him. Same thing with Duke Johnson and Sonny Michel, but this is a big game for Devin Singletary. Guys that I'm avoiding this week, well, it's easy to get away from Damian Williams, Adrian Peterson, Tarik Cohen for me. We're going to talk about Damian Williams in a second. For me, Peterson is not somebody I want to trust, especially in PPR, because I don't like the setup for him in a game where I think you're going to see Dallas with a big lead, Washington chasing points. Adrian Peterson makes me nervous. So, Dave, on that note, tell me why you like Chris Thompson as a starting option.
I like Chris Thompson as a starting option because he's going to catch a bunch of passes. This is really more for PPR than non-PPR. I don't want to trust any Washington Redskins receiver or running back, either one, in non-PPR. But in PPR, I think Chris Thompson can come through with at least 5 catches. He's given you that in 4 of the last 7 losses that the Redskins have had that Thompson's been available to play in. So I think he can come through and give you a nice floor of 12 or 13 PPR points. I agree with you on Devin Singletary. He's awesome. He's going to be a monster. This might be your last chance to trade for him without giving up a ton. You'd have to do it before this game tips. And I think that Damian Williams is going to be better.
We'll talk about Williams in a second. So let's go to your sits and tell me about Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, I don't trust. I hate the matchup for him. Second week in a row. This is one of the reasons why I couldn't even draft Aaron Jones back in August. It's a difficult one against the Vikings. I know he's had success against them in the past. They just shut down Atlanta's run game last week. I don't think Aaron Jones is going to fare much better. And the thing that I was discouraged by the most is that Aaron Jones only had 60% of the snaps. He was still sharing too much with Jamal Williams. Phillip Lindsay, difficult matchup against Chicago. And James White, he's getting a lot of snaps, but he's not getting as many touches. He was actually 3rd among running backs on the Patriots in touches last week.
Tell me about Tarik Cohen as a running back start, Heath.
Yeah, I just think that he's the one running back in this system that we know what his role is going to be.
He's a receiver.
He's going to be the receiving back, and I will make a bold prediction. I think he even gets a couple of carries this week against the Denver Broncos. Against a defense that just flat out did not look very good in week 1. This is a bounce back week for the Bears. The one thing that I haven't heard talked about a lot, the Bears have had 10 days to prepare for this game. The Broncos on a short week after a loss to the Raiders. I think Cohen has a big week.
I just worry about game script for him, so we'll see how Cohen does. And then you're obviously sitting David Montgomery as much as you like Tarik Cohen.
Yeah, I would like to see David Montgomery get at some point more touches. He falls into the same category. There's several of these guys that I think should get more touches in their offense. Singletary is one of them as well. But I'm going to have to see them get double-digit touches in a game before I'm going to feel comfortable starting them. We too many times think, well, we know who the better guy is. I think Devin Singletary is a lot better than Frank Gore, but it doesn't matter what I think. Sean McDermott's going to have to think that too.
I think he does. I mean, his playing time was certainly in his favor, so We'll see if the touches go up as a result. All right, so let's talk Damian Williams for a second, because there's a report out of Kansas City, according to ESPN, that LaShawn McCoy is going to get more work. I think we all expected him to have a little bit of a limited workload in week 1 because he had only been with the team for a week, and he looked very good, but he didn't play as much as Damian Williams. Now you have Tarik Cohen not being in there, so that could help Damian Williams as a receiver out of the backfield if they decide to continue to consolidate targets from their receiving core, and maybe they just lean on him with the 6 to 8 potential catches that he can get, or at least 6 to 8 targets. So I'm just concerned about Damian Williams from a workload standpoint. I like him much better in PPR than I do in non-PPR, because if you look at his numbers, non-PPR, you take out the touchdown, and it's miserable. So PPR, I think he's a safe start. Non-PPR, I don't think he's a safe start. But you guys would start him in both formats.
I would, but I agree with you. I think PPR is where it's at because I think that's the role that he's locked into. I think he's going to be that passing downs guy for the Chiefs. Last week he played on 12 third downs. LaShawn McCoy only played on 2. He also worked more in the red zone last week.
Okay, but
10,
stop
but
there
only
in the
2
third down.
inside
Stop there
10.
in the third down.
Okay, sure.
Because, yes, it made total sense last week. Do you anticipate, both of you, that changes a little bit where it's a little bit closer to 50-50?
I think it'll be closer to 50-50 for sure. It's just from the evidence we have right now, it looks like Damian Williams gets the more valuable touches. I could see LaShawn McCoy getting more carries.
But that
Williams
was 1 week. Spin it
right.
forward, though, because I think this is what the question a lot of people has, is that what's the case moving forward? Is it going to be still that much of a dramatic shift in Damian Williams' favor in passing downs and red zone work, or does McCoy start to take on more as he understands more of the offense?
I don't think the passing downs role is going to be where LaShawn McCoy lives. But inside the 10 last week, Damian Williams had 10 snaps, LaShawn McCoy had 2. That's where I think we could see
So what
some
do you
change.
think it'll be this?
I think it could be anywhere from 6 and 6, where they're splitting evenly inside the 10, to where LaShawn McCoy, if it's first and goal from the 3, he's the one in there, and Damian Williams.
So if you know it's 6 and 6, you still feel as confident about Damian. If you knew, if Andy Reid said, "Hey, he's coming.
It's
Here's
so
what we're
much
doing right
closer
now," what would you do?
non-PPR.
If Damian Williams is getting all the receiving work just like he did, and he's getting 6 touches inside the 10-yard line, I'm 100% starting him against the Oakland Raiders. Yeah,
Even though McCoy's getting the same.
But I would move McCoy up.
Gotcha.
They might both be top
Who would you
25
prefer?
running backs.
Who would you-
Williams still.
Williams still. Same for you?
Same for me, and they are both top 24 running backs for me.
I'm just a little bit nervous about Williams getting that workload reduced, so I'm a little bit skeptical on him as a starting option in any format. Better, though, for me in PPR.